Welcome back to Forever Talking, where we talk nothing forever. My name is Ian Moore, and this is my co-host, Nicholas. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm all right. This is the third episode of Forever Talking. We were supposed to have Amar back on today, but he couldn't join us. Some personal issues, but we'll bring him back on in the future. I have no worries about that whatsoever. He was a great addition to the last episode. He was a lot of fun.
I liked him.
It was a lot easier bouncing back and forth when you have three people, because then I have I have another extra person that I can yell at for the span of 90 minutes that I'm a big fan of. It's fucking cold today. I'm going to be wearing a winter jacket today because it's fucking cold. I'm wearing a Guilty Pleasure shirt, St. Louis local band. Make sure you go check them out. But we're going to go ahead and kick off this podcast today. This episode is going to be out. What's the date? Today is the 17th of October.
Yeah.
So this podcast, I think I'm going to put this one out on Friday. So...
This Friday?
Yeah. Because by the time I get through with all the clips and stuff like that, like uploading all the clips that I have, then Friday will be a good timeline for whenever you get new content out. So I think Friday is going to be the next episode, but we'll go ahead. We'll kick off. I didn't plan on talking about this today. It was mostly just going to be crossover boxing, but this has to be discussed because one of the clips that I uploaded, the title was "Are Greenbay in trouble?" ? The fucking answer is yes.
Yeah, most definitely.
They are in an ungodly amount of trouble. These guys look fucking terrible. And I'm going to say this is going to be tough love because I just want everybody to know I love Aaron Rodgers. I don't think that what's going on in Green Bay is Aaron Rodgers' fault. While I do think he is playing like shit, I don't think that's on him. I think that there is a cavalcade of fuck-ups that are continuing in the Green Bay program that are leading to them becoming a very bad football team. And I want everybody to understand, I do not say that exaggerating. They are a very bad football team right now. And I don't understand that. They were number one seed last year. I understand that Devontae Adams is gone this year, but you are Aaron Rodgers. You're Mr. Run the Table himself. I don't understand what's going on in Green Bay. And I remember last episode, or 2 episodes ago, we talked about how Aaron needs to throw the ball more.
Yeah.
He must have watched that podcast and mistaken me for throw the ball every time. That's not what I said. I do think Aaron should throw the ball, but I think that the Green Bay Packers need to understand that they're in a position where they are a run team now.
Yeah.
And they need to understand where they need to run at the necessary times, but throw at the necessary times as well. Don't throw on first down. That makes no fucking sense. Throw on third down when you're 2 yards away from the end zone.
Well, I also think it depends on the first down. If you run for 4 yards, run again.
Yes, like A.J. Dillon or Jones or whoever it was last game ran 7 yards, and then they decided to throw the ball until fourth down. It makes no fucking sense. I don't understand it. Like, you got to understand, and I understand that they're trying to figure out what kind of offense they're going to be, but
they're a run offense.
But they're going to have to be a run offense from now on, which is fine. I understand that you're Aaron Rodgers, and this isn't Aaron Rodgers' fault. This is the play calling fault. This is a coaching fault. This is Aaron Rodgers' fault to a certain extent, but this isn't a wide receiver issue at this point in time. This is just bad play calling, and I'm kind of sick and tired of watching the fucking number one seed last year, the multiple-time MVP, Super Bowl winning champion Aaron Rodgers go out there and play on a very bad football team. And I look on Twitter and I see it. Don't think I don't see it. Of fucking people saying Aaron is washed. Let's take him out. Put in Jordan Love. If you want to put in Jordan Love, kill me now, today.
They'd be tanking. That's what they would be doing.
More than they already are. Aaron Rodgers, while I do think that they need to run the ball more, I understand that I said that they need to throw the ball more now. That wasn't I didn't mean like 100%. You don't have to do it all both ways. Run the ball 75% of the time, throw it 25% of the time. It's a simple concoction. It's not hard. A.J. Dillon and Jones are incredible running backs that are going to continue to be explosive and get through the fucking defense and cut through them. But the defense, they need to work more on their defensive game, and defending against runs has been terrible. The special teams has been okay. Matt LaFleur has blamed everybody but himself. I don't understand what's going on in Green Bay, but you guys need to fucking figure it out because I'm getting really disappointed with this. Whenever I don't think that I never thought that you guys were gonna be like I understand.
Bad.
Yeah, I understand that there was going to be errors, but like you guys
Not this bad.
You guys are a really bad football team right now. To lose to the Jets at home in that fashion is disheartening. It is disappointing. It is infuriating. I don't know what the fuck you guys are doing. Have I cussed a whole bunch so far?
I never noticed it.
I don't think so. But you guys, I don't even know what's going on, but I'm going to speak to you specifically now, Aaron. You're Aaron Rodgers. You're Mr. Run the Table. You're John Wick. You don't overthrow balls. You don't underthrow balls. You don't miss the target completely. Your stats so far in 6 games are embarrassing. They're ridiculous. And while I do think that you are still Aaron Rodgers, and I have seen it, we saw it in the game. He plays like shit, and then out of nowhere he uncorks a throw that nobody in the league is capable of doing. He did it in the game. So I believe that guy is still in there, but I don't know what you're doing, but you have to be that guy again. We're not taking out Aaron Rodgers to put in Jordan Love, because while I do think Green Bay needs to be a running team, that doesn't mean that you take out one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time just because he's having a couple bad games. And like, if you need to throw the ball, you still have Aaron Rodgers on your side to throw the ball. You take him out, you put in Jordan Love, you're going to rely on that?
They won't win a game if they put him in there.
I don't understand it. Has Jordan Love won a game at all in any of the games that he has started for the Green Bay Packers?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, it's disheartening. It's embarrassing. I need you to be that guy again, and I need you to fucking figure it out. And this isn't just talking to Aaron Rodgers. This is talking to the Green Bay Corporation and the fucking team itself. I don't know what's going on at Lambeau, but there's a lot of time to flip this around, but you got to figure it out, because the schedule, I can tell you one thing, is not going to get easier. You're playing the Bills in 2 weeks. Good luck with that. All around, there's issues everywhere with this. Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you think they'll make the playoffs as of now?
If they continue to play, they are now. No.
All right.
No. I mean, they got to go play the Bills. They're going to lose to them.
Do you think going to get? I think what they should do is go get another wide receiver, even if they got to trade some players, because their offense is terrible.
There's light at the end of the tunnel. I think they do need to go get Odell Beckham Jr.
Or even someone else. Just
and even
do some trades.
What's that other wide receiver's name? Fowler? Starts with an F.
What team's he on?
I can't remember. I don't know. He's a wide receiver. I can't remember his name. Starts with an F, but he's available. But you need to go get OBJ. You need to go get another wide receiver, especially with Cobb, who now has an ankle issue, who was looking really good, but
he got injured.
But like, it's still not. You can't just rely on him. So I don't know. In other words, Bengals look great. They got the win. I have a bet that they're going to go back to the playoffs. I have a bet against somebody who said that they're not going to go to the Super Bowl. I think they're going to go back to the Super Bowl, or at least I hope they go back to the Super Bowl. And then I have a bet with somebody who said they're not even going to make the playoffs. I think that's outlandish. Joey B is just warming up.
Yeah, he's getting better each week.
Mixon is warming up. Jamar Chase is warming up. They're going to be just fine. And while the Bengals defense wasn't exactly immaculate, they're always reliable. And the Bengals is a team that plays fantastic when you go into the second half.
Yeah, they got that Tom Brady vibe.
Yeah, they just have a great ability to assess and figure out what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to be just fine. But as far as it comes to Aaron Rodgers, dude, I don't know what's going on. You're the leader of this team. I understand there's frustrations, but you guys, when I look at your roster, you should not be this bad. So something's going on, and I don't understand it. But I didn't have any time to talk about this today. But I'm gonna make time to talk about it. So
that's how bad they were.
Yeah. So that's all I'm gonna comment on that. Figure it out. Run the table. You need to be that guy again. We'll move on to the next one. I'm gonna take my coat off because I'm fucking hot. It's freezing in St. Louis today. It is a whopping 42, 47 degrees.
You had a 5-degree difference there.
I don't know. With St. Louis, it could be 47 and then it could be 58 or who knows anymore. Yeah. Nicky, how was your weekend, buddy?
It was good. We went and watched the movie.
We'll talk about that later. Easy. We'll talk about that.
In a little bit.
One thing I do want to talk about by the time this podcast is going to come out, I'm going to be announcing my next song. It's going to be the Let Me Go remix. So hopefully that I already announced that on Instagram. If I didn't, then this podcast is the first time I'm going to be talking about it. Let Me Go is a song that I released in November of 2020, maybe 2021. I can't remember. And it's one of my more popular songs I released. It's more of like an EDM pop dance type joint that I really enjoy, and it gets some pretty good streams, and it's a pretty good song. But it's one that I was always disappointed with because there was little things I thought I could tweak with it. I thought the instrumental, while I did think it was good, it wasn't necessarily 100% what I was going through. I wish it hit a little bit harder. The mix wasn't great. I think I was a little too quiet in my verse, but overall, I still think it was a good song. But I wanted to perform it at the show in September.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that the song would translate well to a live audience. So I hooked up with one of my producers, Kurt Zed, and asked him if he can make a remix version of it that I could play at the show that maybe would hit a little bit harder and would translate to a live audience a little bit better. And he fucking killed it, and the audience absolutely loved it. It went super hard at the show, and it was just too good to keep away for only shows. So we're just going to go ahead and we decided that we're going to co-release it, and that's going to be coming out November 4th, I believe. I think that people are going to enjoy it. I think just like the original, this is going to go off very well. I think that hopefully we can get some radio play. That would be awesome. It's a really good song. I'm really, really proud of how it turned out and how it came out. Kurt is incredible. Kurt produced a lot of my favorite tracks on the last album, and him and I are going to continue to work together in the future, hopefully. But the Let Me Go remix, Kurt Zed remix, November 4th. It's going to be awesome. I hope everybody loves it. It sounds great. Maybe we'll post a little bit of a clip of the show, because I'm going to take this out and post this on YouTube. All right. This section of it, and maybe I'll post like the version of like a video that we did at the concert of how it sounds and how people enjoy it, and we'll do a lyric video for it. And after the November release, I have some massive releases that are going to be happening in the early of 2023 that I can't exactly talk about now, but those are going to be the biggest songs of my life, and I'm very excited. But the Let Me Go remix, it's incredible. It's one of my favorite songs that I've done. Kurt absolutely killed it, and it's going to sound great. So now we can finally move into Halloween Ends.
The movie.
What the fuck? Nick, 4 years ago, you and I, who else was there?
Oh, it's Connor.
Connor.
I think that was it.
Yeah, that sounds about right. You, me, and Connor 4 years ago went to a movie in 2018. Because every year in October time, we like to do spooky things every weekend just to get into the mood. And a lot of those things consist of going to scary movies in the theater. I, as a kid, did not like scary movies
Really?
at all. Hated them. Wanted and like the trying not to throw names, but like
Yeah.
the Bretts and the Tylers and the Kennys and the Riley, they loved watching scary movies, and I was a pussy as a kid, and I hated it. It would be terrifying. We would watch like not Inception, Insidious, and then Kenny's dumbass would be like, "There's a face in the window," and then I would be terrified for weeks on end.
So did you get stuck watching a lot of them?
Yes. I couldn't go anywhere, so I got stuck watching it. I remember we watched the Scream 4, I think.
Oh.
And
Those aren't that bad though, right?
yeah, but when you're 10,
I guess.
it's a little different. Like there's a scene at the end of the movie. I'm gonna spoil it. If you haven't seen it, it's fucking 15 years old. What are you doing? They like had this guy like tied up, and then they just shoot him in the head, and like his brain just splats all over the floor, and he's like screaming not for them to do it, and then they just pop him, and that like traumatized me for weeks and weeks.
It haunted you?
I was messed up from that. That one was like really bad. Hold on. Yeah, that one was like super bad. Okay. So that one scared me. I just sent you an email, but it was more of like me just making a note that I can look at later. Don't worry about it.
Right.
Don't worry about that. So that one was terrible. What else? The Grudge was terrible. Where like it's like I don't even know, a ghost movie. Paranormal Activity. Those ones really messed me up because those ones were like
on the camera too. The way they did it.
These are true.
Those were pretty good though, I will say.
Dude, those ones
like
petrified me as a kid, and I was a pussy, so I was scared. And nowadays, like, as a fully functioning man with an incredible looking beard.
Yeah, it's growing good.
This looks like shit. I look like I shouldn't be within 500 yards of a school zone.
You have it just like right underneath. You don't have it right here.
It's my neck beard. It's my neck beard, and then I got the pedo stash. I wish it just connected. I wouldn't be bad if it just connected. But, like, yeah, those ones already scared me. But now as like a fully functioning adult-ish,
you like them?
I can go to horror movies and they don't really scare me as much, but I'm never going to be the guy who just sits down alone and like watches a horror movie.
That's what I was going to say. Going to the theater, I like going to the theater for scary movies because the sound effects, they turn the lights down low, but like sitting at home watching them,
and I
hate that.
I can like scream and talk shit as much as I want in the movie theaters, and hopefully it will piss somebody off. But like, so 2018, that means we were juniors in high school, right?
Seniors. And we
graduated in 2019.
Yeah. So we went in October 2018.
Right.
So that'd be when we were seniors.
So, man, that was a long time ago.
It does feel long.
So Halloween was the biggest movie that was out, and it's a horror movie. Halloween is an iconic horror movie franchise.
Yeah.
Michael Myers is an iconic horror movie character. You got your Michael Myers of the world. You got your Jason Voorhees of the world. You got your Freddy Kruegers. You got your Chuckies. You got your
Chucky.
Ghostface from Screams. Those are like the top 5, I think. So Michael Myers is back. This is like the first Michael Myers movie or Halloween movie in a while. The director was pretty good, and it was like marketed, and the trailers look kick-ass too, because the final girl, Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, famous actor, incredible actress. Excuse me. She was the final girl, and she was the babysitter in the original 1978 movie. Maybe Halloween 1978. So she was the original babysitter in the 1978 movie, and she's been in so many different Halloween movies until I think that she just kind of stopped being in them, and then they rebooted it. And then they rebooted it, and then she wasn't in the rebooted ones, and then this one is like a continuation of
the older series.
But this is a timeline, whereas the first 1978 movie happens, and then Halloween 2018 is supposed to be like the second one. There is no Halloween 2. There is no Halloween 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Resurrection. This is just Halloween, the original, and then Halloween 2018. Yeah. And then the Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends for the ones that follows. So the 2018 version, I still really didn't fuck with horror movies, but we went and saw It, and I really liked It. And we saw It Chapter 2, which I think may have been, I don't even know when that movie came out. I believe we were in college. At that point we were in college, but...
We went and watched that one, right?
We went and saw...
Did we go and watch both of them?
Yeah.
Okay, so I watched the second one, I remember, but the first one, I fell asleep at.
Yeah, you did. Because I think that was after Homecoming, correct?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. We were probably...
I have no idea what year.
It must have been sophomores.
Yeah, or juniors.
Sophomores or juniors in college, or high school.
Yeah.
So I was kind of coming around to the whole horror movie idea thing. Again, I'm not going to ever watch it by myself. I'm a fucking lunatic. But if it's an interesting concept, I'm in. Like, if it looks interesting, I'm in. If it's not just overly generic.
Like, you like the Barbarian? Like the trailer.
The Barbarian trailer was spooky.
Yeah, that looked goody.
Yeah, but...
the movie itself is terrible.
Well, a lot of people like it because it's outside the box. But me, I'm just kind of like, that's not what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Baby. So we went and saw Halloween 2018. Just because horror movie franchise iconicness, it was the biggest movie out during Halloween. Had to go see it. I love that movie. That might be one of my favorite horror movies I've ever seen. I don't know if you remember it.
I get them confused. But
this is the one where...
Does he break out in this
one? He breaks out
okay.
in this one. The bus crashes.
Okay, yeah, I remember that.
He, slams a guy's head into the bathroom stall, 50 times.
Yeah.
Laurie Strode is in it. She's a badass. She's like John Wick. She's shooting guns, blows his fingers off, stabs him, hits him with a frying pan, and then they lock him in the basement.
Yeah, I remember that part. And then
yeah. So Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends were not planned whenever this movie came out. Halloween 2018 was just supposed to be one and done. This is the sequel. This is the end of Laurie Strode and Michael Myers.
But did they do so good? Is that why?
Yes, they made so much money that the studio just couldn't leave well enough alone, which I'm fine if they did one more, two more. There's just a way to do it. The issue with making a Halloween movie and a franchise and sequels off of it is that it's not a very complicated process. The 1978 movie, crazy guy escapes, murders a bunch of babysitters. That's it. It's simplistic. It's easy. The whole movie takes place in this one little neighborhood or house. The budget was nothing.
I gotta watch that. It sounds good.
It's it's fantastic. It's probably one of the best Halloween movies. We should watch that, actually.
Yeah, we should.
That would be funny. It's spooky. It's simplistic. The idea of Michael Myers. Michael Myers was the first thing. It was his first appearance. Nobody knew about him really. All we knew is that he was just he was an insane guy in a white mask who had some supernatural kind of elements to him where he was.
Yeah.
But it was
messed up thoughts.
Yeah, but it wasn't nobody knew what his thoughts were. It was a simplistic idea. Murderer kills babysitters. Now, that movie made a bunch of money, and now they're like, hey, how do we make 78 more films out of this? How? You really can't.
Yeah.
I mean, you kill him, and then they bring him back where he's, like, some of the movies, he's, like, cursed. He's in a cult where he is immortal. And, So you're just throwing so many ideas out there and hoping something sticks. And that's where, like, horror movies in, like, the 1990s and the early 2000s were not really great.
Yeah.
Because they were just kind of throwing everything at the fucking wall and seeing if anything stuck. So the original Halloween movie, horror classic, one of the greatest horror movies of all time. Halloween 2018 is supposed to be the follow-up to that movie. We really liked it, or at least I really liked it. I thought it was an awesome movie. And when they announced Halloween Kills and Halloween Ends, I was 100% down. And I was a little skeptical about the Halloween Ends thing because I was like, okay, how long are we going to kind of like drag this on? Obviously, that means Michael's not really in any danger.
And he's not going to die.
Yeah, he's not going to die in Halloween Kills. So this is, like, I was worried that Halloween Kills was going to feel like the redheaded stepchild, middle child. Where it was just kind of it was just kind of like a building process, like an extra chapter. That was my fears. I had a long time to sit on it because then the pandemic happened, and then Halloween Kills finally came out. Sure as shit, that's what it felt like. No, I didn't hate the movie because I understood what it was. It was a middle chapter to something that was supposed to happen in a conclusion that was going to be epic. Michael Myers murders just so many people. I think, like, this is some of the most, I want to say it's like, it broke the record. I don't know if it broke the record, but, like, Michael Myers gets
for deaths? For deaths? Is that what you're
something
talking
like
about?
that?
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, but, like, Carnage is great in this movie. He is stabbing people with light poles. He's railing guys' heads into fences. He breaks out of the burning house and kills everybody with a...
That was pretty badass.
Yeah, like, he kills the whole fire brigade. But, like, this movie has its flaws where Laurie Strode is locked in the hospital the whole time. And I predicted that from the get-go, that she was never leaving the hospital. I knew that was going to be the case because they wanted to build towards the third movie. Yeah. Sure as shit, that was the case. Which is fine. I just wish it was executed a little bit better. The dialogue in this movie isn't great. They're speaking in all Shakespearean. The evil of Michael Myers. He transcends as he kills. That's stupid.
Doesn't he just walk away?
Yeah. Well, we'll get to that. They bring back... They tried to make Haddonfield, which is the town, a character in this movie. I love that idea. It was executed poorly because they created this mob and they killed some fat Danny DeVito looking guy. Not that Danny DeVito. I love Danny DeVito. The guy looked like... I'm not saying that the guy is fat, so therefore he's different Danny DeVito. I'm saying that the guy kind of looked like Danny DeVito. But the guy was probably short... Yeah, I'm trying to say this without seeming like a dick. I fucking love Danny DeVito. I'm not saying this guy looks like Danny DeVito because he's fat. I apologize because I'm fat too, so I'm sorry. But, like, this guy was like he wasn't Michael Myers. You know what I'm saying? The guy that they killed thinking that he was Michael Myers was fucking stupid. He was like 4'11".
Oh, I see what you mean.
I just
looked him up.
Yeah, Michael is 6'8".
Yeah.
Why they thought that this guy was Michael Myers at any point in time? They just threw this in there to pad the runtime of the movie.
Yeah.
Because wanna know why? Because the concept of a serial killer just killing babysitters is not a very complicated process to pad.
It's hard to stretch out too.
Yeah, to pad. Like I said, they had a movie and a half of good ideas, and they made 3 movies.
Yeah, it's gonna.
But I didn't hate it. That I don't buy that they killed him because he looks like Michael, because he doesn't. The dialogue is bad because everybody said evil dies tonight 30-something times.
And it didn't happen.
Meanwhile, Michael Myers is just going around on fucking cracked out of his mind.
Kicking doors. You remember the car door
Yeah,
scene?
that scene was incredible. The kills in the scene are the most brutal in the franchise.
They're awesome.
They're incredible.
When they happen.
I mean, he is killing people left and right. The light pole thing was incredible. The firefighter kills are incredible. Then he kills everybody in the car, stabs the guy in the face, kicks the... We were audibly, cheering wherever he kicked the door and the gun flicked back and she blew her head off. Michael is a badass in the movie.
That was probably the best scene of the movie.
Oh, that movie... That scene was sick. There's great scenes in this movie.
But
he's killing people left and right. The most brutal scene in the movie is where he kills the granddaughter's boyfriend. I don't even remember that scene.
Yeah, they're on the stairs, right?
Yeah, they're on the stairs and he's slamming his neck into the corner of the stairs. In the wood and slamming it back and forth. And then he's walking down the stairs where the dude's head is here and he turns and he just grabs it and twists it all the way around. Brutal.
Yeah, but that's what makes the movie all right.
I mean, it was brutal. So the kills and the action in this movie is fantastic. The issue is the script writing.
Yeah.
Because then you get to the end of this movie where the town attacks Michael, and you're in a complicated point where if you're gonna have Haddonfield be the character, and you're making it where this is the second film in the trilogy, obviously Michael's not gonna die, so he's gonna get out of this when he shouldn't get out of this because it's Michael.
40 people, right?
Yeah, maybe more. With weapons. He takes 8 shots in the chest. Not to mention, this is supposed to be the same night as 2018. In the previous film, he gets stabbed. He gets hit with a frying pan.
He gets
fire. Run over from a car. He gets lit on fire. He gets his hand and fingers blown off. Then in this one, he takes a pitchfork to the back. He gets shot 6 more times. He's stabbed with a knife in the neck. He's beaten with a brick. With a bag full of bricks. He's hitting with 2x4s and baseball bats and hockey sticks, and he's just getting the shit kicked out of him.
He's also 70, right?
And he's 75 or something like that. And he's supposed to be just a man. They really nailed that home. He's just a guy. He's a guy who's capable of incredible things, but not impossible things, according from the director himself. That is a direct quote that he said. Do you know what's impossible? Getting the shit kicked out of you by 50 guys and just getting up and standing up and killing the entire town.
Yeah.
Jank. So I can excuse that. Then he goes and kills Laurie's daughter, somehow gets back into the house that is surrounded with ambulances and police force, and
walks out of there somehow.
He walks in there first, kills the mom, and then leaves.
No one sees him.
Nobody sees him. So this is where the movie starts to have problems, because that could have been a fantastic end. If Laurie and him fight, and then she lures him out into the town, and the town kills him.
Yeah.
That would have been super satisfying.
But it didn't happen.
That didn't happen because I wanted to make another movie.
He disappeared into the sewers.
Which that wasn't supposed to happen either. They changed some reason over COVID. Something, because the Halloween Ends, which I'm very interested to see what that script was supposed to look like, was supposed to take place on the same night. So Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends were all supposed to be in the same night.
They switched it up. But
for some reason, they had this idea that they wanted to make it 4 years later, and they wanted Corey Cunningham to be a thing, and they just had, I don't know.
Corey Cunningham.
I don't know. So the original ending of this movie was Michael was supposed to go up, he kills Allison, or Karen. He kills Karen, who is the daughter of Laurie Strode. Laurie from the hospital calls. Michael picks up the phone. You hear Michael breathing over the phone, and Laurie says, "I'm coming for you, Michael," and then drops the phone and is leaving the hospital, wounded with the knife. So then Halloween Ends was supposed to be her hunting down Michael.
It really didn't happen, though.
And that didn't happen because they changed the movie. So
too busy writing in her diary.
Yeah, so the ending of the movie of Halloween Kills is just Michael killing Allison or Karen and then
disappearing,
leaving
into the sewers.
Exactly. So Michael, for whatever reason, so they changed the whole idea of the third movie, and they create this movie where it takes place 4 years later. For whatever reason, Michael just poof gone. Doesn't feel like doing it anymore. He lives in a sewer.
Eating rats.
Or hobos or something for 4 years.
Stealing from hobos.
Doesn't feel like killing people anymore. Is injured, but not bleeding out or dying from infection or anything. Fucking vanishes off the face of the planet. Laurie and Allison are now living together, and Laurie Strode has moved on. And I liked Laurie Strode in this movie. She was badass, but she was normal. She was toned down. She felt like a human being. Laurie has moved on from the events that have taken place, which I don't buy, because if she didn't move on from the events that took place in 1978, which led to 2018, where Michael only killed like 4 people, compared to the events that took place in Halloween 2018, where Michael killed half the town and her daughter, I don't really buy that Laurie Strode is now chilling out making pies.
Yeah. I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't buy that one. That one doesn't make sense to me. Now you have Corey Cunningham, who in the beginning of this movie kind of feels like a different creative team just took a hold. And this movie was marketed as, this is the final confrontation between Laurie Strode and Michael Myers. It's the end of these characters, or at least the actors who play these characters.
Yeah, I remember the trailer you showed me. You think they're going to be fighting each other almost the whole movie, but that's not what happened.
Which was really supposed to happen in Halloween Ends in the original cut, I feel like. This movie really... It felt like it was a part of the original franchise. There's like a fly flying around here. I see it too.
3 of them.
Yeah.
Killed it.
This felt like it was a part of the original movies, like the first 10 minutes of Halloween Ends. Kind of takes place on Halloween night. It takes place a year after the like events. I don't really understand that, but like the kid dying was brutal.
Oh, at the beginning?
Yeah, where Corey like knocks him down like 7 flights.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
I knew that the kid was gonna die. I just didn't
know that way.
I didn't know that was gonna happen.
I should have known though, because they showed those stairs like 4 different times.
Gnarly. If you are, I should say this. Spoiler warning for Halloween Ends.
Yeah, don't watch this if you haven't seen the movie.
Yeah. Whoops.
Well,
I'll have to edit that in too. Spoiler warning.
No, you don't.
So if you're like nervous of children dying in movies or something like that, I would skip this one, because this one's pretty brutal. Like the kid,
he eats it.
His whole back, like, dude, snap.
And then later in the movie, when they're in the house, it's almost like they didn't clean up the blood.
Yeah, which is weird. Like they moved out.
They didn't clean the blood spot up.
And they didn't clean the blood spot up. Excuse me, honey, can you help me move this bookshelf? Watch out for stepping on our kid's blood. What? Fucking stupid.
Oh yeah, that part didn't. There's some things in these movies that don't make sense.
So Corey Cunningham is introduced. The actor who plays Corey Cunningham does a great job.
Yeah.
He's really good in this movie. The character's not all that bad. He finds his way to conveniently run into Michael Myers in the sewer, who lets him go for some reason. And then Michael grabs him by the neck, and then something that happens in this movie that isn't really explained is that like Michael looks in Corey's eyes, and nobody really knows. And then like at that moment, Corey was not the same.
It's like evil transferred.
I don't know. We'll never know. They didn't say.
Something happened.
We don't know if like Michael saw evil in this kid. We don't know if Michael transferred evil into him. We don't know. But keep in mind, Michael is supposed to be just a guy. So I don't really understand it. Then like Michael and Corey are like collaborating, murdering people.
Teaming up.
Which has never been done before. Michael, one thing that happened in this film that I didn't notice the first time we watched it, but like whenever Corey drags like the ex-boyfriend in the sewers for Michael to kill.
Oh yeah.
He's like clearly weak and he's beaten up, and Michael's like stumbling over there. Then he stabs him, and then Michael kind of like shakes, right? And then he like sits up straight, and then he just
is normal
and continues to kill him. So maybe like the more Michael kills, the like stronger he gets. So maybe he needed Corey to like help him or something. Laurie's on to him. But like one thing about this movie that really pissed me off was the fucking sewer where like Corey just walks in the sewer and walks up to Michael, who's just standing there. Hey, Corey. And like Corey goes, you have something that I want, and continues to bitch and pussy out horror icon, 6'8", 300-pound Michael Myers. You must not have heard me. I'll say it again. Corey Cunningham punks out, judo throws, spine buster tackles Michael Myers, just goes, you have something that I want, and just rips the mask off his head. Makes Michael look like a little bitch. This is a Halloween movie. Michael's not in this movie really at all. Has not a lot of screen time. He's a side character. Gets benched into the end of the movie.
Yeah.
So then Corey gets the mask. He's going to kill people he hates, all the bullies, and his mom, and the DJ guy, which that was the best death in the movie, was the snip. And then he decides he's going to go kill Laurie. This is the best scene in the movie where Laurie fakes her suicide.
Oh, that scene.
That scene is badass, where Corey opens up the door, and she's like, did you fucking really think I was going to kill myself? Puts 2 in his chest. He falls down the stairs. Then for, like, another decision I don't really get about the movie is all the build-up that you did with Corey Cunningham ends because he kills himself until Michael shows up and breaks his neck. Yeah. And then Laurie and Michael have the fight that was supposed to be the main build-up to this whole movie.
Yeah, we've been waiting for it for almost like 2 movies, too.
Yeah, 4 years.
Only 4 years.
But that, like, they finally have their fight, which was not really focused on for a lot of this movie. It was a good fight.
Yeah, that was a good.
It was short, but it was fine. And then they dump Michael in the trash compactor thing, grind him up, and kill him. Which I'm happy with. I'm glad they had the balls.
So is that the last movie that
Yes.
they're making? Okay.
Well, until
someone wants to.
Until they feel like doing it again. But I'm glad that Laurie Strode's character had a good ending that I'm happy with. I don't think Jamie Lee Curtis needs to play this character anymore, and I think that this sets her out in a place where she doesn't have to play this character anymore. It's a really good conclusion for her character. Unfortunately, it's just not a great movie for the conclusion of the Michael Myers character, which this isn't going to be the last Michael Myers appearance. It's just going to be a reboot, and a different actor and a different writer. No fucking way. There's no, I mean, they're not going to have him wait 5 years, 6 years, and they're going to reboot this movie. I would make a fantastic Halloween movie.
It makes a lot of money, right?
Oh my God.
Because even if like they made one next year, I'd still go watch it.
Yeah.
Because we do it on Halloween.
I would, dude. I could make a fantastic Halloween movie.
Oh, yeah?
Let me make a Halloween movie, dude. Oh my God. It would be so good. So, like, I was thinking about the other day, like, how I would make it, and it would be fucking awesome.
Do you have any idea what the villain would be?
It'd be Michael Myers.
Oh, you'd reboot it?
I'd reboot, yeah, because I'm not going to leave Michael Myers, like, on the bench.
I didn't know if you were making a whole new series, or no, you're rebooting.
No, I would make, if I was making a Halloween movie where it had Michael Myers in it, I wouldn't call it Halloween. I'd call it, like, The Shape, which is, like, Halloween, which is, like, Michael Myers' name is The Shape. I wouldn't even, like, call him Michael Myers. Like, in the background, like, it would, like, there would be, like, a TV broadcast or something like that, and it'd be, like, 6 months ago,
Michael Myers.
3 suspects from the state penitentiary escaped. Joe Schmidt, blah, 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 and Michael Myers have not been seen in the last 6 months. So, like, there's a guy wearing the Michael Myers mask, killing people, but it's not, like, that's Michael Myers, but, like, you can figure out that that's Michael Myers. I would make it very simplistic. The whole movie takes place pretty much in one house. There's no real motive.
Just killing.
Just make it simple. Make it a simplistic story where Michael is just fucking killing people, but not even Michael. Just as far as the audience knows, a guy in a fucking mask is murdering people.
Psycho.
A psycho. We had a little camera issue, but an audio issue, but we fixed it. We'll just go ahead and pick up. So that's what I would do if I would make a Halloween movie. I'd make a great Halloween movie. But overall, I think Halloween ends, while not a great ending to the story, in my opinion, was not.
Do you have an echo too?
I do, but I am immediately going to forget about it, so I'm not that worried about it. It's just like...
I'm going to try to.
Yeah, it's just these microphones. It's fine. Just take your headphones off.
Confusing me.
I'm the fucking only one here.
Oh, just the echoes.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. I'll give Halloween Ends a 6 out of 10, I guess.
Yeah,
it wasn't bad, but
I think the environment of the movie, or just like the whole setup of it being in October is what's cool about it.
Yeah, I agree.
If it was just a normal movie, it'd be pretty bad.
I agree. All right, that's better. I just have to turn the volume down. And my microphones. Okay, we'll cut that part off there. We'll go on, talk about Misfits 2 card. KSI and Misfits do it again. It was a great card. Yeah. Wasn't as epic as the first one, which makes sense considering that this just kind of feels like a build-up card. Not all of them can be 10 out of 10s because they're building to this January card. But it
was still good.
It was still good. All the fights were fun. And this card gives me hope that that YouTube boxing is gonna be here to stay.
Oh yeah, I think it is.
Even after JJ versus Jake.
Oh yeah, there's new guys coming up. Like I think Slim will be fighting.
I mean, even like Jay Swingler versus Churdleys, right? Love Churdleys, by the way. Yeah, that fucking awesome. I hope he's okay. I hope we get to see him again. Hilarious guy.
That was his first fight. He'll get better.
Yeah.
If he does it again.
If he continues to want to do this. Like guys like Jay Swingler and Salt Poppy and Slim and Ryan Taylor and JMX and those guys can carry this car, can carry this division for years to come. And well, sure, like my fear is the pay-per-view sale. I don't know what the pay-per-view sales are going to look like for this one because it was a relatively free pay-per-view, but you can get it. If you just get the DAZN subscription, you can watch it.
DAZN.
Which, by the way, hey, can you guys figure out your fucking subscription? I had to buy this fucking thing twice with 2 different emails and make 2 different accounts because I paused my subscription last time the last fucking pay-per-view happened. You guys have fucked me over numerous amount of times. You're a great promotion and a great boxing promotion, but your streaming service was fucking killing me. And I know that I wasn't the only one who's watching it. But DAZN and Misfits, this is a great partnership. I hope that this pay-per-view does pretty well with the numbers. So it warrants continuing them.
Yeah.
It warrants a continuation.
I think you also just have to have smart expectations.
Yeah.
Like what it's going to sell and how much each pay-per-view should be.
The stadium looked like it had people there.
It looked pretty filled besides for the top row.
Yeah.
That'd be hard to
wasn't filled all the way from the start. That's because 1, KSI is not on this card, and 2, because he wasn't in the first fight. It did look like it filled up overnight, and it looked fine, and I'm hoping that it was a success because I really want YouTube boxing and crossover boxing to continue. And as long as guys continue to be dedicated and be characters and rise up to the occasion, YouTube boxing will be just fine. We'll take a look at this card, we'll run it over spot by spot.
Besides for the first fight, we didn't see that one.
That is delicious. But we have to... Yeah, we didn't get to watch Hallham versus DDG because... we got to watch the last round because DAZN fucked me over. But Hollahan versus DDG. I didn't get to watch all that fight. Hollahan fought Salt Poppy. Him and Salt Poppy are buddies now. Hollahan's a good guy.
That was the upset though, where everyone thought
he won.
Or whatever.
Yeah, he won. I heard that he didn't win, but he won. So I don't really have a lot to say
on that one.
Let me double check, make sure the camera's still good. I'm gonna have a fucking awesome editing job again.
You're gonna have to edit a lot.
I know, dude. Just fucking kill me.
Send it over to Connor.
I could, but I think I'm gonna use him to make like those TikTok promotional videos. So Hollahan versus DDG, we didn't get to watch all of. Whatever. Happy Hollahan got the victory, even though I heard that it was controversial.
Yeah, the announcers.
Yeah. Anthony Taylor versus Rock Sue. I believe that's how you pronounce his name.
Who won that one? I can't remember.
Anthony Taylor by murdering him.
Was it a quick one?
It wasn't a knockout. It went to decision, I believe, but this was the one where Anthony Taylor knocked down Rock Sue in the first 10 seconds.
Oh, yeah, I remember this one. He did the
duck down, overhand right.
He did both the first and second, he dropped them.
Yeah, dropped him. It's funny because the card that we reviewed in the last podcast is not really the one that we got.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things changed. People dropped out.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That happens, though.
I mean, this is crossover boxing. Is what it is. Anthony Taylor dropping Rock Sue made it look easy. Challenge KSI. I don't hate that fight for JJ. I just don't think...
That would be a good fight.
I mean, that fight makes sense. AT's got experience.
Yeah, he looked decent, but I don't know how good Rock Sue was.
Not great, but I know that Anthony Taylor went the distance with Tommy Fury, so that's credible.
Oh, that
he didn't win, but he went the distance.
The distance is pretty good.
Yeah, he went the distance with Tommy Fury. He was a Jake Paul sparring partner. He's an established mixed martial artist. That would not be a bad fight for JJ.
Yeah, I remember. That guy's tough.
Yeah. But I don't think that's going to happen.
I think it would be a good fight, though, but...
I think that JJ's going to go the route of somebody who's more established and has a name, which is going to be Nate Diaz, if we're being honest with ourselves. I'm like, at this point, I'm 72% sure.
That'd be super cool.
I think it's going to be Nate Diaz. I'm like 72% sure. We'll talk about that in the next podcast because we don't have a lot of time to discuss on this one. Ashford Wett versus Keeley.
That was terrible.
That was a rough one. These ladies didn't look like they trained necessarily. Ashford Wett had.
She won, right?
She did win. She had a job. She had a good jab.
Keeley looked like she never practiced boxing before.
It was she went out there with a flurry,
throwing punches,
and then when she got punched in the face, it was very quickly understood that she did not want to be here anymore. Yeah. And Ashford was just planting that jab in her head.
Yeah, you could see it halfway through the first round.
Yeah, multiple times.
She didn't like it.
Tom Zanetti versus Jaden King. Jaden King, I believe.
Oh, I don't have that one. I don't remember.
He pulled out. So that fight did not happen. He pulled out within 24 hours of the card. Jaden King. I believe he's the guy who pulled out. I don't know these guys too well, but I think yeah. Yes. Jaden King is the one who pulled out of this fight after telling Tom Zanetti that his kid's a little bitch. They got into a fight at the press conference. Jaden King pulled out with 24 hours left of the fight. Fuck that guy. Just literally wanted the clout, it seems like. Ridiculous. Gonna bring somebody's kid into it and not go into the fight. Yeah, it's embarrassing.
That's the worst move.
Embarrassing.
Or just talking shit on someone overall and then not fighting.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. If there was an injury or something, then that's a different story. But even if you like go in there and you're confident enough to talk shit on somebody's child,
you
better step in that ring.
Talking about anyone's, like any family member.
It's just It's ridiculous. I'm gonna not give that any more time that it deserves. But Tom Zanetti, I hope finds himself an opponent to fight soon because we need fights in this scene. JMX versus Ginty. This is a pretty good fight. This is JMX's first fight since 2018. JMX was originally a super big name in the crossover boxing sport. I'm telling you now, I think it's going to be Logan Paul versus JMX in the January card.
Tall guy, right?
Tall guy.
Yeah.
Super long arms. Boxing experience. Was originally like...
He looked good.
He was a dream fight for Logan. Then Logan went and fought Floyd. So it's kind of like, are these guys on the same level anymore? I think that fight's happening in January. I think it's going to be Logan versus JMX.
He's taller than Logan, right?
Probably.
That'd be exciting.
I think that's going to be a pretty good fight, but we'll see. He looked good. Did get knocked down though. I think he crowds himself a little too much.
Yeah.
He goes in there and he gets himself in complicated situations where he doesn't need to be. Just use the jab.
Yeah, he's not patient.
Park it in the guy's face. Ginty, tough as fucking nails. Great fight. The best fight of the night, however, was Slim versus Ryan Taylor.
Oh, that fight.
That fight was awesome.
Yeah, that was good.
One of the better fights of YouTube boxing, crossover boxing so far.
You got to give it to Ryan Taylor because
I have to give it to Ryan Taylor for being.
He got knocked around.
He got knocked around, but he landed shots. He lost every round probably, but like it wasn't easy.
No, he's a tough guy.
He's a tough bastard. He was landing shots on Slim. Refused to go down. He got knocked down once.
Yeah, but he gets some boxing skills. He'd be hard to beat because he's tough-minded.
They're calling for that rematch. Ryan Taylor wants that rematch.
I think Slim would win again, but
I wouldn't hate seeing that rematch. I think that what you're gonna see is Slim versus Anissan Gibb next.
Yeah.
I think that Slim deserves that high-profile fight, and
that's one of the highest profile fights you can make without KSI or like Jake Paul or Logan Paul.
This is true. Gibb was talking some shit on Twitter though. He went on Twitter and he was like,
what'd he say? He was like,
KSI's manager wouldn't let me on a MISFITS card. Now I see why. After like looking at everybody, because he like, and then he tweeted, he goes, I took down social gloves. MISFITS would be a breeze. And KSI like retweeted it and he was like, easy, brother. So like, I don't know.
Maybe he's trying to start shit so he could fight KSI, you think? I know you said
I think he's just talking to talk. I love Gibb. Gibb versus Slim that has to happen. But I want to see Ryan Taylor back.
Oh yeah, I want to see Ryan Taylor.
Even though I call him a dirtbag, and to be fair, I still think he's a dirtbag.
He spit on Slim, right?
He spit on him.
I remember us watching that. I'd be like, after the fight, there's no way I'm shaking hands with someone who spit on me.
Yeah, but
2 minutes ago.
Beef was squashed after the fight, which that's what you love to see. Excuse me. Ryan, tough motherfucker.
I think he could be a good villain too. He plays the role really well.
Yeah, he could be a good villain in the scene, and they were saying that if he continues to fight, he would be a problem. And I think he would. And I hope that he does continue to fight.
Do you know how many fights he's fought?
He fought Kristen Hanby, headbutted him. Or no, he fought DK Money.
Headbutted him.
And headbutted him. Maybe, yeah, he fought DK Money and headbutted him. Fought Anthony Taylor and got the shit kicked out of him, but it was a draw. And then fought Slim and lost.
So that's his third fight? Yeah, that looked like his third fight. He looked decent. He had decent defense.
I think that he'll be a problem for anybody who fights in the scene.
And once he can start putting offense on people.
Yeah. We'll move on. To the main event, Jay Swingler versus Churdleys. I fucking love Churdleys. Funniest guy. I hope he's happy. I hope he's healthy, and I hope he's in good spirits.
Yeah, he got hit hard.
That was a pretty brutal knockout, but he did his job. He's an entertainer first at the beginning of the day. He sold the fight extremely well. He painted his hair. He walked out in a robe the size of the stage. the guy's hilarious, and he's an entertainer. And I hope he continues to be in this scene if he wants to be.
Do you imagine like going out there to fight someone and they like have a totally different hair color? I feel like I could mess with your mind a little bit.
It's funny.
It is funny.
Jay Swingler, I watched that fight back. His technique looks great. Jay Swingler's my guy. I love him.
One of your guys.
He's one of my guys. He came out there, super fast hands, great technique. Body shots are on point. Head movement looked really good too. Whenever I went back and watched it, and I think he could be a guy in the scene if he continues to do it. And I don't know if he finds himself a spot on the January card. I don't know if he's at that profile yet, because the problem is you want to put guys like Jay and Salt Poppy and King Kenny and Ryan Taylor and Slim and you want to put them in winning situations so they can continue to build themselves, so this can be a scene after the fact. But I tweeted out, and I was like, if Jay Swingler and Salt Poppy got into the ring together, that could be a blood feud. Those guys could go for a trilogy, because they got very good technique for the both of them. And that's something that I really want to see, but I do want to see Jay Swingler fight again. They're talking about Jay Swingler versus King Kenny.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. But I love Jay. The title belt situation's getting out of hand.
Yeah, there's too many.
Not everybody needs a fucking title.
There should be like, I know we said weight classes, but like almost everyone fights each other. Crossover. There should be like 3.
I don't understand it. Jay's 1-1. He's a champion.
And he beat Churdley.
He beat Churdley's, who's never fought before.
Very good.
Yeah, who's never fought before.
He was just there for the fun of it.
That's why I don't understand that. But I love Jay. I want to see him fight again. Now let's move on to the brass tacks of this conversation, and then we'll wrap it up. In 2 weeks.
Bro, I'm going to kill these bugs. There's too many.
They're fruit flies or
I'm about to smack this.
Something. 2 weeks from now. Extremely high profile fight. The man himself.
Oh.
Jake Paul.
I had to look up which fight you were talking about. But
Anderson Silva.
I think this might be one of the best like crossover fights.
October 29th. The stats are Jake is 25. This picture might be old, but last I saw, Jake is 25. Anderson's 47.
Yeah, I think he's 48 now. But
maybe he's 48 now.
Either way, he's high 40s.
Yes.
That's
Jake is 6'1". No, he's not. That's a fucking lie. He's not 6'1".
He's pretty big.
He's the same height as JJ. He is 5'11", 6 foot, maybe.
I forget that he fights all guys way smaller. Like he looked big against Tyron Woodley, but Woodley's like 5'8", 5'7".
Yep.
Or Nate Robinson. Yeah.
Anderson's 6'2". That's believable. Jake's reach is 76. Anderson's reach is 78. Jake's record is 5-0. It says Anderson's record on here is 3-1.
Probably just as boxer.
Oh, I guess as a boxer. He may have lost his first boxing fight years ago, 20, 30 years ago.
But he's good.
He's one of the greatest strikers of all time. It's been a long time since we've had to break down or talk about a Jake fight.
He hasn't fought.
He hasn't fought since December.
Is that when he fought last?
Yeah, he fought Wood. Not without a lack of trying in his.
Yeah, Fury and who else?
He was supposed to fight Fury, and he was supposed to fight Hasim Brockman Jr., who we'll have to break down the next time we hop on a podcast because he's the main event of the third Misfits card. But Jake versus Silva, I remember when Logan fought Floyd, and it was always supposed to be everybody thought that Logan was gonna go for this legend killer persona.
Yeah.
And I think Logan had one of the best performances in crossover boxing.
Well, he did really good against Floyd because he did what he was supposed to.
He did what he was supposed to do, and I get that he was taller and bigger. I don't care. He was still, like, keeping up with the speed of Floyd Mayweather. He was dodging.
Floyd was trying to knock him out.
Yes, he was dodging punches. There's a clip where he fucking ducks a full-on right coming in. So if you have the speed at that size.
Is that Logan Paul's last boxing match? Because that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
We watched that at my old house.
Logan and Jake have not been in the ring in a long time.
Yeah.
But Jake has been in 2 or 3 training camps since then. So, I don't know. Everybody knows that I want Jake to lose. If Jake loses this fight, let's be honest, that does not impact his stock.
No, because
in any way.
Losing to Silva.
If you lose to Anderson Silva, it is what it is. If he's gonna go fight Jake Paul or that KSI fight, the sale of that does not.
The hype will always be there.
That does not.
It will be a little better if they're both undefeated, but if not,
yeah. If he loses to Anderson Silva, I don't care.
They both had just such a huge fan base.
Yeah. If he lost to Tyron Woodley, that's a different story.
Yeah, Woodley.
And I always say, like, if Jake loses, he's never boxing again. And I do believe that if he fights KSI, he'll never fight again. But if he loses Anderson Silva, there's no shame in that.
I think it also depends how he loses.
Now, on paper, there is no reason, 0 reason, as to why Anderson Silva should lose this fight.
The only thing that Jake has in his advantage is the age. That's about it.
Yeah.
The skill, the experience, everything goes to
but, like, Silva. Anderson just fought. Unless Anderson has aged significantly, but he's always training. He's always fighting. He breathes fighting. He trains his kids nonstop. So, if Anderson has somehow rapidly aged in the last few years, then I could see Jake somehow landing the knockout shot. Because Jake does have the power to knock out Anderson Silva. He just has to touch him first. Anderson Silva, don't forget it was 3 years ago where he fought Izzy?
Is that when it was? I don't remember.
I think so. 3 years ago he fought Izzy. Izzy couldn't knock him out. Izzy's one of the greatest technical strikers on the planet.
He's the best in the UFC, probably.
Yeah. Anderson just went out and beat professional boxing world champion Julio Cesar Chavez 2 years ago. But since then, the opponents that he has fought have not been to that caliber.
But then,
he knocked out Tito Ortiz, who's not a striker.
Yeah.
Or was it Tito?
Yeah, I know he boxed him. That guy was a UFC guy, right?
Bellator, I think he was, UFC. Anderson knocked out Ortiz.
But then you look at Jake Paul's opponents, though. They're not special.
They're not special. His biggest accolade is Tyron Woodley.
Yeah. Who's way smaller.
But, Jake Paul would beat Tito Ortiz.
Yeah.
Jake Paul would beat the last guy Anderson fought, who was on the Floyd Mayweather undercard, last year. Anderson has been active, but his opponents have not been great. Besides Julio Cesar Chavez, which was 2 years ago, which Anderson looked fantastic in. So if that skill is still there, which it should be, then there is no path to victory for Jake unless he lands that shot. You're not going to outpoint.
Or unless he actually is as good as he says, but...
But after watching the Tyron fights, he's not.
Or maybe, how some people go up to their competition or teams. Maybe the level of competition he'll step up.
I could see Anderson walking in here and not taking Jake very seriously, and somehow getting caught.
Not like that.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I think he's gonna play with him.
That's why I like this fight a lot, because it's finally someone Jake's size, and it's the first time I think Jake's really fighting someone that throws combos. Woodley was a one punch and then stop.
Anderson Silva should win this fight unless he is age significantly. But the only reason why I'm so hesitant is just because it's Jake Paul.
Yeah, you never know about his.
And I never know what the fuck he's going to do. And he always finds a way to piss me. Not that I think that he is more skilled than Anderson Silva.
No,
I don't.
He does have a right hand.
But he has a right hand. He's got knockout power. But, like, he always finds a way to fucking piss me off and somehow win. So, I don't know. I don't have an answer. Anderson, all I can say is Anderson should win this fight. I think Jake Paul is somehow.
I have that same feeling.
I think that he's going to somehow do it. And it hurts to my core to say that because he shouldn't. He just shouldn't win. And I don't think he's going to win because Jake is going to be looking so great. I think he's going to look better than the last time we've seen him, but I don't think Jake's going to walk in here and win because he's fantastic. He's a fantastic fighter. I think Jake Paul is going to walk in here and beat Anderson Silva because Anderson Silva is not going to show up to fight. And that's what I'm worried about. If Anderson Silva
trains,
he's training. He takes this seriously. He trains all the time, all day anyway. It's up to Anderson if he's going to take the YouTube Disney kid seriously or not. And I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if he does. And that scares me because I want Anderson Silva to knock him out. I don't know if he will.
End him.
I don't know if he will. I can't imagine that BJ Flores, which is Jake's coach, is training them to go volume with Anderson. Maybe you can make it scrappy, make it rough.
I'm excited to see it.
I don't know.
I think this will be the first fight Jake can really show his skill. If he has any. I think Silva's going to win, though.
I hope Silva wins. I mean, that's literally all I can say.
99% of the world does.
I want Jake to lose so bad, but it's just he always finds a way to disappoint me by winning. But, like, I don't think that he wins because he's good. Like, I think that he's good as far as, like, the crossover boxing scene goes. Mm-hmm. Like, he looked terrible.
Against Woodley.
He looked really bad. I think that guy loses to JJ. I think so. Like, the guy who I saw fight Tyron Woodley.
Yeah, I think JJ is a better boxer, but I think Jake Paul still has that right hand. So,
but I think JJ's stronger than Jake is.
Yeah.
All I've heard for years is KSI's fucking power is immaculate. That's all I've heard. And it's a lot easier to knock somebody out when they're walking towards you than when they're running away and kneeling down with saying their head hurt.
Yeah.
But like the Jake Paul that went and fought Gibb looked great. He was planted. He was throwing an accurate jab, an accurate left hook. He went straight down the pipe with the right.
Was that Gibb's first fight, though?
It was his third fight.
Oh, never mind.
But like Jake Paul, it was his first pro fight, but his third fight. Yeah. Jake Paul has looked worse in each fight he has had. The best fight he ever looked in was when he fought Gibb, who I get Gibb was not himself and looked terrible that night, but Jake still looked really great. He looked fine against Nate Robinson, but he still got caught by Nate Robinson.
That's what I was going to say. I'm saying the Askren fight, he got clipped.
He gets clipped because he was diving in, got clipped by Robinson, dove in, got clipped by Askren. Did not really engage that much with Tyron Woodley, but he was throwing combinations that looked well, but were getting sloppier towards the end of the fight. Jake's combinations looked sloppy the entirety of the fight whenever fighting Woodley.
He looks slow, too.
And he looks slow. Maybe, and I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say that they were training for Tommy Fury, which is a completely different opponent, and they were not going to go volume with Tommy. They were going to cut the distance and try and land that right.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be something similar here where Jake is going to be bulky and he's going to come in with a lot of muscle and he's going to try and cut the distance off and get really close to Anderson and land that overhand right. And if he lands it, he will win. He will. If he lands that shot, he will win.
Well, yeah.
But if he lands that shot on anybody, he'll win.
Yeah, that shot on Woodley was so clean.
But, like, I don't know. I don't know if Anderson finds himself in a spot where he's going to drop his hands.
No, I don't think so.
But then again, Anderson could look significantly worse today than he did then. So I don't have an answer. Anderson should win this fight, but I think Jake Paul might.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say. And I'm definitely afraid of that happening, and I don't want it to happen. And I want Anderson to lose, or Jake to lose. If Jake Paul loses to Anderson Silva, I can only imagine that there is a rematch clause in this.
Well, it depends how he loses if he gets his ass kicked.
Even if he gets knocked out, they're going to fight again. I 100% believe that there is a rematch clause in this contract, and that if Jake loses to Anderson Silva, they will fight again, no matter who it's going to be. What else is on this card? Le'Veon Bell is on this card.
Oh, who's he fighting?
Uriah Hall. You know who Uriah Hall is?
No.
Fucking as good of a striker as Anderson Silva, but younger.
Oh,
so not sure what the fuck they were thinking doing that.
That's not gonna go well.
I mean, Le'Veon might die.
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell might die. And then you have another fight which is very interesting is Chris Avila, who is in Nate Diaz's camp, is boxing Dr. Mike, who is on a crossover, who is on the Creator Clash event, who has 10 years of experience, but never actually, 10 years of training in boxing.
Never fought.
He fought iDubbbz, beat iDubbbz, and was a credible opponent for KSI that people threw out there. And I actually like that too. My throat's dry because I can't stop talking.
Well, that's the point of this.
Yeah. So that fight's interesting. I don't really like Uriah Hall versus Le'Veon Bell.
No, Le'Veon Bell. Who did he just fight? He just fought someone, right?
Not Antonio Brown.
Was it Adrian Peterson?
He fought Adrian Peterson and knocked out Adrian Peterson.
Yeah. If you're saying the other guy's experienced, then
I'm scared.
It should not be good.
I think he won the Ultimate Fighter. He has really brutal UFC MMA knockouts.
Oh.
Not
like they just fall over.
Fucking murders people. Scary knockouts. So I don't know what matchmaker thought that this was going to be a good idea. You could have done Le'Veon Bell versus Dr. Mike, but whatever. Oh well. And then the other two fights I'm not really familiar with on this card. So we have to watch the whole event on this one. It's going to take place Saturday, October 29th, and that's in Arizona. So we're going to have to get together and watch this one.
Or we'll fly to Arizona.
Nope. We're not doing that. October 29th. That's 2 weeks away, right?
So 2 weeks is Halloween. So yeah, we'll be there. Not this Saturday, the next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Let me check my schedule. I'm a busy person. But by time I should be, I'm assuming this card's going to start at 9, so I should be good to go. Yeah, I'll be fine. I'll be ready to watch this event. Cool, man. All right. So that's pretty much all we have for that. Jake Paul versus Anderson Silva. Who knows? Should be exciting. Anderson should win, though. I can only imagine if Jake knocks out, just the JJ tweets are going to come.
The whole world will go after him.
The whole world.
He's one of them.
I don't know. I can't see it in my head. Jake getting knocked out.
I just can't picture Jake losing, but maybe it's because it hasn't happened yet. But
holy fuck, this pay-per-view is going to be $60. Good thing we don't have to worry about that. Not that we're going to steal the fight.
Let's crop that part.
Not that we're going to stream the fight. That's not something that we would ever do.
Someone else will pay for it for us.
Yeah, who knows? We might buy it. We might. I don't know.
Well, if a mark comes, that's only $20. That's not that bad.
Yeah, I don't care. I can't see myself paying $60 to watch Jake Paul fight.
No, you'll be very disappointed.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I don't give that much of a fuck.
You remember the Ben Askren fight where?
God, that was more Triller's fault. Triller though did just announce that Manny Pacquiao is fighting for them.
Was he? Do they know who?
Yes.
Has he ever been in discussions to box any YouTubers, or are people afraid of him?
Yes. Yeah, somebody wanted to fight him. I can't remember.
That's a bad idea. Manny
I think
Pacquiao.
Logan Paul was offered to fight Manny.
Okay, that makes sense because he's bigger. But I was going to say, Manny Pacquiao, he would kill all these YouTubers.
I'm very sad that Manny Pacquiao is fighting. Manny Pacquiao returns to the ring in an epic clash of styles versus South Korean martial artist DKU on December 10th. Yeah, whatever. I love Manny Pacquiao as my favorite fighter, but at the same time, I don't like Triller as an organization. Well, I don't like how they handle a lot of their shows. I think Snoop Dogg owns Triller, and I love Snoop Dogg, but I just don't like. Why is there 78 concerts in a boxing event? I don't like that.
Why is there even one?
Yeah. So we're clocking in about hour 22. Got hair in my mouth. We'll go ahead and wrap this one up. Hopefully you enjoyed today's podcast. For the next one, hopefully we're going to bring Brett on, B-Pags. We'll talk some music stuff. I can't even remember what we're talking about in the next podcast, but
we'll figure it out.
So we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. Make sure you stream the Let Me Go remix when it comes out November 4th. We should start a Patreon pretty soon. That would be kind of fun. But we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Nick, you have anything to add?
No.
All right. Adios, amigos. Peace. Have a good one. Stay safe. Thank you for tuning in for Forever Talking, where we talk about nothing forever.